Okay. All right. There we go. Sorry about that. It's been a little while. A little low. Yeah. So got about 1,000 or so tokens, so we're good to go here. I don't know if I'll get a mythic cup or not, but it'd be nice. Would definitely like to have. I'd like to finish one of my cups anyway. I've got that in the alt, and I'll showcase the alt a little bit. The alt, I've got some. Oh hell, I've got. How do you say? Probably a little over $600 into freaking artifacts already into it. Somewhere akin to that, like I thought, well, I thought basically during the event, what I would do is I'd go ahead and I'd just, see if I could splurge a bit, basically get all of the, and I'll show you, but I basically got like in that spin to win of it, I got all the pieces in there. I had like, I'm not quite close to 35, but I'm pretty damn close to 35 wins. I've got like, I think 20 something. It's getting there to where it's getting pretty high. Now the tokens, I mean, I'm planning on doing the alt too. I can showcase the alt a little bit here in a bit. But the main thing is the alt. I'm working on basically improving the HP because one of the things that people had mentioned is the fact that your alt's kind of lacking the stats. It's lacking a bunch of must need things, and it's like, I ignored it for a long time, but it's one of those things where I don't know. After a certain point, I've kind of it dawned on me that I probably needed to do that. So I dumped quite a bit into it, and it's so far I've got like, let's see, poking around here. Looks like it's at. Oh, it's not too bad. Well, I'll show you here in a bit, but it's not doing too bad. I mean, it's gone up to 50%. It looks like on most of those eight, as far as the stats are concerned, which isn't too bad. Trying to remember, where am I at on tokens? Sure if I can get a token pack on this account. I might be able to. I think tokens is still up. Was it? Maybe not. It was I know it was up yesterday, but it may not be anymore. I have to wait until the next rotation. Oh well. Fine. I mean, really, about all I'm doing on the alt anyway is just token packs, if anything, because that's between my main account and my alt. I'm like having to try and do both, and it's I don't know, man. I kind of hate it. Because because between my main and my alt, my main doesn't didn't have enough lunite, so I went ahead and dumped quite a bit into lunite there, just so that I'd have the lunite to make the T5 to be able to keep and sustain the T5, right? And then after a certain point, I started looking at my gear, and I'm like, oh god, I need to work on the gear too, but I haven't. I'm trying to work on the alt, and then it's like, oh shit, I can't do both. I need more money to do that. I don't have enough to do that, I don't think. So I'm just gonna slow roll it. It's the only way I can do it. And the way you slow roll anything in this game is basically buy the $10 packs and pick and choose your packs once in a while. Stash them. No, you need everything except resources. Well, hell, so the funny thing is I need a lot of things too. I need resources too. Like you cannot go wrong not having enough. You need a lot of things all the time. But shit, if there's anything that I've come to discover though, as far as packs are concerned, it's that you buy the 5,200 books pack, and then you buy the following pack after that, which is a little bit more. Oh, is there? That might be interesting. See, here I'm like, yeah, well, we'll do a token stream, and Grimdor's like, no, we'll change this, we'll change the stream a little bit. We'll make it into a rally stream. Which, you know, I'm not opposed to. I mean, sounds like fun. Well, I can look at my alt. Who's the guy in question? Because I was looking at it this morning, right? And freaking SLP and like a couple of 400 or 500 mils were out sitting in Fury, which would have been fun. Okay. Okay, so what's up? What's up? Who?
There's that 400 mil run. There's an 800 mil who has about 70 mil worth of troop might.
Right. Oh, Panchito. Yeah, between Panchito and, well, the Ultra So I mean, yeah, those are all the same accounts that I was looking at yesterday. There's 700 mil and there are 500 mils in there.
You see, that guy just posted.
Yeah.
He has, I think, set between 70 and 100 mil troop might.
It's a good thing. It's a good thing I didn't think about that.
I think he's zeroed at about 750, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
But literally, Panchito literally just saw it. They had a 400 mil sitting there that I was just about to go and get next, but he ran. They tried to rally the 100 guy, which I'd rather they slap the shit out of CL.
Yeah.
Because why the hell not?
Yeah, because they've got Yaosai just sitting here. Quite sure what he's up to, but
He's online. He just took a rally. 4.4.
I mean, they got Karn and CL basically just sitting around, like, not really.
If we set on anyone, they'll just run, and that Fury's gonna expire before we can get.
Yeah.
Because we have fuck all carpets, unfortunately. So,
Yes. I'm gonna go ahead and. I think I'll show it while the freaking thing's going back and around. Take a minute to show you. Cause yeah, the alt, right? I basically did 23 wins worth that I've got. I went ahead and basically got all three of these. And the 80 books is pretty overpowered, man. And that's actually not a bad deal if you can grab it. But
honestly, that would have, if I spent that on my champ chest, it would probably gold it.
Yeah, I mean, because what I did is I basically nined the three pieces, and then I'm not quite at a point where I can get these maxed, but when I do, there's like 30% there.
You should be putting into those blue ones as well, because there are a couple blue ones.
Oh yeah, I've got some shit in the blues too. I'm doing basically all the ones that give you HP. So
yeah, right.
The only thing I got to do now is basically book spam. But to do all the book spam and everything, it's like that's gonna take some time. As far as gear goes, I mean, I was working on Astra a little bit. I touched on it and I thought about it. I was like, well, you know, I could do that. But then I thought, well, I need to do this too. And so I'm not quite at a point where I can get this to even legendary, but I'd like to do that. Yeah. And then get it to mythic, because that'd be nice. But I was also looking at mitts, and I'm like, oh, I could get mitts up, and that'd give me at least 10%. So I was like, I could do that too, you know, and start doing Astra on this account. But between the Astra and artifacts,
because my next Astras are all fucking accessories.
Yeah.
I gotta get all my accessories to level 3, and then I can go back to working on, I think it's the chest to 4? Or it might be the helmet to 5 or something. Because I'm just doing them in order of cheapest.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it'll be helmet, then sword to 5, and then chest to 4, then offhand to 7, I think. Unless the accessory to 4 is cheaper than any of those. In which case it'll be accessory to 4. all the while working on my inf champ chest, so it doesn't matter what I get capped in.
Right.
Fucking, it's a bit of a handful. I just need to focus on one thing and then just slam it out, and then. But it's like, do I bother with artifacts anymore? Because I've got a decent setup of artifacts.
Yeah.
They still need work, but I mean,
I was doing the math the
what
other
we
day. I mean, you can get like close to 200% just out of artifacts alone. Like I, for a long while, I ignored the piss out of them, but now I look at it and go, okay, no, that's like the equivalent of getting a tempered set. So
yeah,
if a
I mean, I
person's
think I'm
got enough invested in it, even at halfway, that's 100% across the board that you
yeah,
have laying on the table that wouldn't cost that much. I mean, yeah, it's probably 15 to 2 grand probably, but oh, you probably got what 3 to 5 grand just in tempered and that's not even high end tempered. You know, like
at the moment, I'm sitting just under 70% in for tax, 60 cav ranged, then another 35 of each with leader, but 40 cav with leader, and another 20 plus each with battle fury. So I've pretty much got the 100% attacks.
yeah.
It's just I gotta finish more things off to get it there. I've got literally everything that isn't battle fury, like battle stats that aren't battle fury, favorited, and that's what I'm working on first.
Yeah, I mean that'll add up eventually. I mean, because it just takes time. It's the only thing. But you'll get there. I mean, once it's there, it's done. Then you're good to go. Be nice.
It'll be nice. It's
Hey,
just
what's
a
up?
while off,
Yeah.
and it's literally a toss up. Do I put a bit of cash into that, into my artifacts, and get like 5 to 10%, or do I throw it for like 50 to 100, or do I throw like 3 to 400 plus at my champ chest to try and gold it out, and then I've got to get it all the way to mythic on top? Or do I
Well,
throw?
the advantages that you get with the champ plate, right, is that you're going to be able to store food for a change.
Yeah, that's why I want to get the inf plate done.
I mean, so in some ways, it's like that could be better.
Yeah,
But now,
yeah,
when
that's
you look
a
at
great thing to
accessories,
have,
it's like,
but
mm,
then I could also at the same time throw like the same into Astra and probably get all my accessories to 3 and those other upgrades I mentioned previously,
right,
which would probably provide similar, if not more, to Astra, but it'd be an army stats instead of
right.
spear attacks. So decisions,
Then the
decisions.
question would be: is now how would you go about getting the Astro?
I just buy that $5 pack that gives me 3 chests.
Yeah.
I get 5 on that more than I get 3. I average like 4, so I'm nearly paying $1 per Astra. And if I actually got the pop downs for it, I'd probably pick more up from there because those are really good value.
I mean, it adds up. I One thing I was looking at Astro packs was I was looking at it and I'm like, there's one pack that shows up every once in a while and it's called Let It Snow, and that pack shows
Yeah,
up
the
for
100
champ
brilliant
pieces.
astrolite chests.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
And I
like
was looking
that.
at that and I didn't know if Brilliant Astrolite was a better play there.
No, it's not. It's really not. The brilliant astrolite chests give you speed ups. I mean, they have a potential to drop 60 astrolite and star scrolls and a purple ember, but you
Right.
mostly get speed ups.
What you're trying to tell me is it's a little sus for being called Brilliant Astrolite because you don't get Astrolite.
The thing is, you can usually get about 4 or 5 per 100 chests, in my experience.
Okay.
But it has a higher ceiling than the
I
Astrolite.
wonder if anybody has ever complained to IGG and asked, why do you call it Brilliant Astrolite if I don't get any Astrolite when I open it?
Nice.
I wonder if anyone has ever bothered to just, I don't know, walk in and be like, I demand my astrolite. Where is it?
The highest I've pulled from a brilliant astrolite was a 28 on my old main. Hence why its champ boots are level 6.
130k gems? That's not bad. Yeah, see, I've won like 15k once, but I've never won a jackpot in this game in the 6 or 7 years that I've played it. So the concept of a jackpot in this game is not even something that runs through my mind because it almost never happens.
The party trap I play with Embo, we were rolling Tycoon on it about 3-4 nights ago. It
Yeah.
won 2 double bag Tycoon jackpots.
Okay, see, this is what hurts my soul because I've had people tell me stories like this. I knew somebody that would tell me that they were like, "Oh yeah, I played the labyrinth back in the day, won a jackpot like within the week and had 10 million gems, and then by the end of the week, I decided to roll another 10,000 holy stars and won it again for another like 5 mil. So they had like 15 million gems by the end of that week."
Yeah.
And I was sitting there rolling my eyes like, oh my god.
It got a 130 and a 150 pop, which is all going to be turned into tier 5 once I get a bit more actually on it.
Yeah.
I haven't shown you the party traps gear, have I? You've probably seen it.
No, actually. I looked at it.
So take a look at, hold on, once this actually loads and I put it on. Take a look at feeders to leaders gear.
Name.
Yeah. It's a great name.
Trying to figure it. Where is? Oh, there it is.
It's got chief at the moment.
Oh, yeah, you've got mythic on pretty much everything except for your Bumble, but shit. Yeah, I'll show everybody so people know what we're talking about.
Is a gold and embers away.
Yeah, that's not bad. Not bad at all.
It needs a lot of jewel work, unfortunately. And then we'll put straight into it, maybe do a second cup eventually, but...
See, I have a similar problem, and that's on my actual... Like I don't have a full set of attack jewels in my accessories. And what I've done instead is I've thrown in HP jewels to compensate. Which I thought, like I guess that'll work, but is it better than the 20%? Probably not.
Yeah. I mean,
and it'd be nice to have it, but...
Once you get the actual purple attack jewels, I'd say just switch them out.
Yeah, I was like thinking about that, and I was like, I don't know, when you get 15% HP and you're getting 12% attack, it's like, okay, you're getting maybe 2 or 3%. It's almost a toss-up to me. I look at that. Because then it's just a question of what would make more sense at the time. The only thing I do have in there that's actually worth something to me is that I've actually got one of those RI assault jewels maxed out. So I've got 10 and then 5, which is
one of those thingies.
Which is okay. I mean, I was like, the worst thing in the world. I mean, I've got a set of purples. I've got like 3 range attack jewels of purple and 3 infantry attack jewels of purple and 1 cav attack jewel of purple. So I mean, if it's conceivably possible I could go next KVK, I'll just start having people pay me in freaking for their leads back anyway. Because that, by the way, that was the best idea I had, was when I was like, yeah, just give me relocators. I have never ran out of relocators. I've never ran out. And now it's like, I'm gonna start having them pay me in legendary jewel chests.
Yeah, fuck off. May as well.
I mean, because that's the next step up from here. Is just work our way into that realm, because that seems to be the way to go. Oh boy, but yeah, I just got this new PC set up and everything, and I was debating on making a video about it. And I was like, well, I could make a video about it, but then I was like, but But at the same time, I'm gonna custom it. Like it's a custom rig a little bit because I went ahead and added RAM to it. And then I also threw in an 8 terabyte hard drive to basically turn it from a $1,600 computer with an i9 and it's got a 4070 in there for a
Right.
GPU.
Shit.
For 1600, that's pretty damn good. And then it had
Yeah.
32 gigs of RAM in there. So for $50 more, I threw another 32 gigs of RAM in there. And then I
May as
thought,
well.
okay, might as well, right? So now I got 64 gigs of RAM in this thing, plus I got an 8 terabyte hard drive, that I can throw recordings and shit like that on. And then I discovered that I didn't have a heat sink for the M.2, but I can have up to 3 M.2s in there, and I thought I would take it and throw another M.2 in there, but the mistake I made was thinking that I could actually get the M.2 in there without a heatsink. And I thought about it, but I was like, I have a high end SN850 WD Black that does 7,000 megabits a second for transfer speeds. And I thought, yeah,
Mhm.
I could just stick that in there without a heatsink, but I think I probably shouldn't do that.
Yeah, probably not.
So I went ahead and bought an $8 heatsink that it should show up sometime. But figured that'll when it arrives, I'll stick that in, and then I can use that for recordings as well. And so
Mm.
then I can just use the 8 terabyte for archival. While if I have instant need access to like games and shit like that, I can throw that onto that terabyte. And that way I can just easily transfer back and forth because I'm already on an M.2, already on a terabyte M.2 for the OS and everything. It's made more sense to do it that way than try and reinstall Windows 11. Which, mind you,
Yeah.
even though I've got the setup like I do, it's not without bugs. Like there's obviously some driver issues and stuff like that I've discovered that as you go from like Windows 10 to Windows 11, there is a lot of what I describe as technical challenges for drivers with things like your microphone to your camera to even the lights or your keyboards or
Right.
having a 3 monitor setup even that it's especially challenging when you try to bring all that stuff over into a newer machine. But like I said, I could go into detail about all the shit that I do and all the things that I've done to that computer, but that's a gist of it, really. I don't know if it's necessary to go any further. I mean, that's
Yeah,
just
fair enough.
stupid information that I know. That maybe somebody somewhere in the world's probably like, where did you, how did you, and what did you do? Like, well, it's an iBuy Power, and I got it on Amazon Prime for 1,600. The Y60, um, and I think that's about all you'd need to know to figure out what I bought. You can typically buy this right now on the internet, and you'll get pretty close to it for about 2,500 right now.
Right. Am I getting lucky with my brilliant astrolite chests?
I don't ever get lucky with anything like
I
that. But the temptation was there. It came across my radar a couple of times. But if there's anything I've gotten lucky with, it's actually been the artifact. Because now that I've been doing artifact pulls like regularly, it's like it's actually dawned on me that one thing about artifacts that this game kind of depends on is they expect you to really dump a lot into it.
Yep.
The nice thing is you can do the drop downs and get 18,000 or so from the drop downs, which honestly I'd rather do $100 a day into Astrolite
Jesus Christ.
than I would then do
You,
$100 into 18,000 artifact coins. But
so the thing is, if you spend that $100 on astrolite, then you're getting, I think it was like 84 astrolite and like 300 or 400 of the brilliant astrolite chests.
yeah,
So arguably more worth it. First 100 I get 2, but I did get 43 star scrolls.
yeah,
I just pulled 21 out of 20 chests. It feels good to be a gangster.
and so that's kind of where I'm at with it right now. Is I'm debating on the Astrolite side of it, if whether or not I just because I can either do one of two things with this current account right now. I can either dump Astrolite and try to max the mitts, or I could even take some of those accessories out to see if I can make another Blight Ring and make the Mythic Cup go to
A
Legendary and then
blight
maybe
ring
Mythic.
would be a blight ring would be a good decision because of the army HP. Because you mentioned you wanted more HP, so
Yeah. I mean, it's something that, it's like, I think it'd make more sense to get a Blight Ring in there right now than it does anything else. And it's not unachievable. In fact, I could probably start making one now. The only thing that's gonna suck is the fact that I probably have to dump a stupid amount into things like Material Madness or something, but
mm,
it's that or I
just
keep doing what
roll
I've been doing.
just roll what's it called, Labyrinth.
Yeah. But see, I was also debating that though. I was like, I could roll for another one, or I could just start dumping into champ.
I mean, I feel like if you're dumping into champ, you'd want to be dumping it on your main.
See, that's the thing there.
Although finishing the champ boots you have to mythic would be nice.
That's the thing. You see where I'm going with that. I could do that. Dump a little bit.
At the moment, right, we have me with my 8 piece. We got Embo with his 5 piece. We got my ult. We got the party trap, which is Embo's ult that we both now run, and then we got Scooter, all with mythic champ boots.
Hmm.
So, and then we've got Kerberos has mythic, I think, in offhand. So we've got like 6, 7 accounts with mythic champ pieces.
Yeah,
So everyone's starting to get a bit thick.
just a bit. Just a bit. There is one thing I've noticed, which is that when you reinstall Lords on 2 emulators and you go through the process of running the emulators and everything, that one of the downsides of doing that is that a lot of there's like an initial headache in having to reinstall all of the software programming that's involved in
Mm.
these emulators. And the one thing I wanted to do that I was like, yeah, I could keep my old like settings and everything, and then I thought, oh no, that's probably not a good idea. When you go from Windows 10 to Windows 11, hardly any of that's going to carry over. And I'm glad
Yeah.
I didn't because a lot of it's buggy as hell, even on Windows 11. And it's just one thing that surprised me is the OS is still pretty flaky at times.
Mm.
I'm
Where's the
sure for the
5
average
build?
person, it's probably not that bad. But when you're like somebody like me, I'm a fucking power user, so I'll find 3 dozen different bugs. And naturally, most people would probably freak if their computer just, suddenly bricked it. But like within the span of an hour, I black screened, blue screened, like half a dozen different components. It took a couple of tries to get this thing like up and running. Anybody else would have been like, "What the fuck? It's not working. It doesn't turn on."
I'm trying to find the 5 build because I have a feeling he's going to hit one of our allies, which is not ideal.
Yeah, wasn't he down?
He's been running around hitting people.
Yeah, I mean, I was like, do you think he pays? Think he could be a sugar daddy that
I
pays?
no, he is a little bitch. If he loses might, he instantly retrains it.
No.
I can garrison a march from him, whacked a full march of troops, and he pyrused me, he grimmed me, and then he instantly went and trained. He instantly went and trained at 20 mil might above what I dropped him to, like above what he was originally.
That's a really nice. Wow. Just wow.
He's a little troop whore. Alright, so it doesn't look like he's hitting V18. Is he hitting anyone in RF? No. Where the fuck did he go?
see here. That's something else I was thinking about doing is I could buy breakthrough. I
I need to pick that up on my main.
was like, I
It's
could
just
I could
sitting
grab
there.
that. That might be handy. The only other thing I've got that I'm fixing to have. And so you were saying, and so which pack is it? It's the Amazing Astrolite pack, like if you bought it all the way out, or which pack is it that if you bought all the way out for Astra?
I literally only buy the $5, and I think it's the Amazing Astra.
Because I was wondering that, because I could just go dump a
Yeah,
bunch of money
Amazing
on Astra.
Astra. I pay $5 for 3 chests, and then I usually get 4 or 5 Astra out of it.
The
The highest I
temptation that's
pulled.
running through my mind right now is I could shift gears, since I'm pretty much tapped out on artifacts already. I'm at a point where I've got straight nines, so it's like I'm gonna be working on it overtime anyway, but it's like there's not a chance in hell I'm gonna win the event. Even though I dumped as much as I did, that there are so many people that dump more than that into the. That's what surprised me. I figured I'd be like in the top 10 at least. I'm in rank 80, and I've only been like dumping, close to $600 into that. I'm like, holy. Because you got people in here now that are like at 643 freaking box openings, and it's like he's a billion might and he's 180. It's like, oh my days, these people are sitting on fucking tokens for years and years and years, and then they wait for an event like this. Is the only logical explanation that I can think of as to how you could just wake up, dump that many. Like, it's just fucking ridiculous. I mean, it works. I mean, if that's the strategy, then that's the strategy I'm going to employ. Is just start saving them basically, and then once you get up a shitload of them, and I know for a fact I dumped probably close to like, probably 12,000 or so. So I would expect that you would have had to have dumped in excess of 150 to 200,000 be in that ranking.
Mm.
Just in the actual polls, that's it's what 15 divided by 2,000. In fact, we could probably get the math on that, because if I just assume every poll, every 2,000 is 10 giveaways, for example, and he's got like 600 or so of them. If I divide that by 5, that's 136 times whatever the amount of 2,000 would be, which is 273,000 or so
Yes.
in terms of just those particular artifact tokens. And that's not that's not your normal tokens either. Those are the royal coins. So that's like around 280,000.
The royal coins go at the same rate, though. That's the thing. Like they're the same, like 900 for $5 or whatever.
Uh, kinda, yeah. I mean, you can. And there's alternative ways of getting them too. Like, I
Mm.
discovered that if you want royal coins, what you do is actually buy the gift galore when it shows up, because those will give
Yeah.
you the royal coins. And the other thing you need to buy is actually within the logging gifts and kingdom labors, you can normal coins anyway, not the royal coins, but the artifact coin. That's like another good place where you can grab quite a fair bit every day from there. Not counting the 7 day
Literally, I
pack and
worked
everything
it
else.
out. I worked it out. I think I need about 200 to 300,000 coins, and I can guarantee rank 1 during one of the wonder artifacts.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know, Naveen. We're gonna see how this pans out. I don't know if I'll hit jackpot or not. I'm betting against it. I'm just going to just say that now. I would rather assume I don't win it than I would. I actually, if there's a positive that comes out of this, I'm just closer to a mythic cap. That's the only positive I can see coming out of this. That's best case scenario, in my mind.
How close were you to the Mythic Cup?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't check, so I have no idea.
Ah,
I would assume I've gotten at least a couple. I'd probably pretty low on there though. I
because
probably don't
what
have that many.
you had about 1,000 tokens to roll, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll get roughly 2 golds.
Which, given the amount of like packs that I'm fetching. I don't know if we'll even. I might actually have enough to max the other two dams too, potentially. That'd be
Yeah.
the only other thing that comes to mind. I don't think I've got either the bunny. Well, no, I've got bunny max. I'm trying to think of which one I don't have maxed. Well, in terms of maxed, I'm thinking like terms of like the actual abilities, not so much
Yeah.
the fact that they're actually unlocked. I think I still have things to unlock on them for stats, which is a killer in this game. It seems like every time I turn around the corner, it's like I look at my main, and the only thing I have is a lot of that, where it's just, well, yeah, I just need to dump more into it. But it's like between my main account and my alt, I'm like I'd rather dump into my alt than I would then dump into my
It
main.
literally got to the point. The reason I got this account was because it was going to be half of what I paid for this account would have gotten the familiars on my old main to the same level.
Yeah.
Half. So.
My rationalization right now for my main account is I look to you when I need to rally. So if I look to you, I don't necessarily need to be, I'm more of a backup. And even if I do end up hitting, it's like I'm not going to hit very hard. I'm just going to hit hard enough, and that's all you need is someone to hit hard enough.
See, the thing is, we've got quite a few. Like we've got me, we've got Embo, we've got you, we've got my alt, we got Scooter, all with very good blasts for at least 2 troop types. So we've
Yeah.
got the leads, and then usually we have Pardon because of our arrangement with WMP, RF, etc.
All
So
right.
it's not like we are in fucking dire need of more rally leads, although they would be nice to have.
I mean, because in my world, it's like right now the only way I progressively make my main any better than it is now is I start dumping into jam. And
Yeah.
I'm only going to say this as a potential method of which I do it. But if there was an excessive amount of money coming from somewhere, and I don't know where that'd be, but if there was an excessive no budget limit, that's exactly what I would do to my man.
Well,
It's
I did
just dump.
notice you picked up 1 or 2 champ packs earlier this week.
Yeah, that was on the alt. That's how
Oh, was it?
that
No, that was on your main, I swear.
could have been. Might have been.
I
I
thought you
can't
might have been
remember.
back on the champ chest grind.
I might have grabbed him at the time since I was thinking about it, to be honest. I think I dumped most of. I might have even done it by accident. That's the funny part. I could have been just like, oh yeah, I'll just buy that, and then I'm like, oh, wrong account. Well, there's no such thing as a wrong account. I mean, it's just, it's not like either one doesn't need it. It's like that'll benefit one way or the other. Ah, shit. But yeah, no, I'm thinking I'm probably gonna start dumping into those amazing Astras. Then what I'll do is I'll buy a $5 pack of it and just slow roll it on the alt.
See, what you should do is you should save your Astra for your champ boots.
Yeah.
Because, like, the difference. Take 15 off that. So at max level 12 Astra, it's 44% army HP.
Okay, that's enough for me to say sure. Let's do that.
That's at level 12. That's the only problem is you got to get it to level 12. I actually have a
Yeah.
spreadsheet here somewhere.
Sparty's got a spreadsheet, but if you've got
I'm referring to Sparty's one. I haven't been
yeah,
up to it.
Sparty is a godsend for making that spreadsheet because I swear to God, if nobody knows what I'm talking about, just go to YouTube, look up Sparty, and find his Astrolight video with the spreadsheet. That is literally the best fucking thing that he has done to the community ever in my world because I can just go straight to that and it solves so many unanswered questions when it comes to having to spend that goddamn much.
Like your first 6 levels are relatively cheap, like 14, 21, 25. It gets a bit expensive at 56, 67, and 77, but
Yeah.
that's still from 1 to 6. Uh, that gives you an extra 4% HP, which doesn't seem like a lot. The extra 10 you'll get comes later, but I don't know. I've got the 12 on my main. I have the 6 on my alt. I might eventually finish the champ boots on my alt, but I need to finish the range chest to mythic on that first.
Well, I'm only like, at least on the alt anyway. I'm only. See, I gotta have 5. I've got 1 legendary already, and I've got 3 purples, so I'm on my way to 2. Didn't realize I already had a couple. I didn't realize that. I want to be honest. I look at that and I go, "Huh? I wonder where those came from." Now I've got 3 purples.
I just crossed the 6 gold mark on my main, and I've got I think 5 golds on my alt. But
I
the
think
good
it's
thing about my alt
surprises.
is it's only an upgrade to mythic. That's all I have to do is just upgrade it to mythic. I don't have to go legendary and then mythic.
Fucking embers, though. Jesus, 15 of that. I mean, that's not
I've
gonna be that
got
bad,
most
but
of the embers.
goddamn.
I have 22 of the 29 embers on my main. I don't think my alt has any embers, unfortunately.
I think that's what I'll do though. Is I'll dump probably into chant packs when they come up.
Into
Buy
50
and
champ
get
boot.
the chant boots up, and then I'll start dumping into Astra and start dumping them into the chant boots.
Yeah.
That's I think yeah. Going forward, I think that's probably the way to do it. That makes sense to me anyway. I mean, at this point, I think artifacts. I got what I was looking for out of it, and I could go further, but it's just I don't see any point in going any
Yeah,
further
it
at this
starts
point.
becoming expensive if you go further, so.
Oh hell, it's a money pit. It's literally a money pit. That's the one place where I think even the collective pay to wins will all agree that that's a fucking money pit.
Yeah, see, it's not. If it was a little less luck based, then I could understand it. But because it's so luck based, I'm like, ugh, I really don't want to touch that.
The only reason I even bothered with it is just it's like just for an investment of 500 was a 50% across the board stat increase on HP, attack, which
Yeah,
I didn't have before. And I'm like, okay, that makes sense to me. I can rationalize that. And now that I've done it, it's like now for the same amount of money, instead of a 50, it's like maybe 25 or around half that. It's like, okay, I can either max it and then get a little bit more, or I could just, shift gears. And at this point, it's
yeah,
like, yeah, I'll shift gears, I think. I'll slow roll it now because I can just buy the $10 pack and get it, freaking through Kingdom Labors. I can grab the tokens and I'll just build up that way, which
yeah.
works for me.
My main's at 5.5 gold mains for fucking the champ chest. Or once I get it to 8, I could do the sword to gold. But I think I gotta do the champ chest because I don't care about my inf set.
Yeah. I goddamn base those. It's 5-ish, 548-ish, it looks like.
It's on a half hour, I think.
No?
So it'll be on a whatever half hour it is. So probably 5:30. It's half an hour later than it was last time.
Yeah, because it's at 6:47 is when it ends. So it's literally like within 6 hours, which would put it right at 7 almost. Like I might be able to join 8 really or 2, but depending on how close to 7 that gets, I have to leave around 7:15. So
Right. Okay.
I may not be able to. I don't know. I was thinking that was going to be around 5, and if it was around 5, I was like, okay, yeah, I can manage.
Yeah,
But
I think you told me it was 5 last week.
yeah, it was at one time, and if it's at 5, as long as I wake up, then it's no big deal. But half the time, I'm a pretty power sleeper, so if I sleep, I'll sleep.
Fair enough.
Try to wake up. But I honest to God, I'm one of the few people that you could shoot guns in my house, and I probably won't wake up. I'll sleep right through that. I live in an attic, so I hear everything, and I've just grown accustomed to hearing loud shit all the time.
Yeah.
So it just doesn't. I don't know. There's something about that that I've always thought. That should be concerning, but it's also kind of a cool superpower. Like I can just sleep on through just about demo anything. Hmm. Don't know where we're gonna end up on this frickin' token run here, but we're almost at 500 used already.
Yeah.
Getting closer. Still no jackpot. Getting closer.
Heaven forbid you get a jackpot.
Yeah, don't know. I don't know if I'll be excited, overjoyed, or pissed off.
We finally hit gold for Dragon Arena.
Oh, that's cool.
We're finally the Master League.
One thing I have to say about Dragon Arena is for the number of times it has come up, I'm almost never there because it almost
Yeah.
always happens when I'm at work, and I am so fucking pissed off the fact that I can never be there.
Yeah, sorry about that.
It's not your fault. It's just
That's just
my
because we get the
timing is
most goddamn
terrible.
people. We just get the most goddamn people at that time, so
I know that's because most people get off at work at 4. I don't get off until 5. God damn it.
plus it's not way too late for Europeans to be online either.
Yeah, that makes it a
It's
convenient time.
it's a 7 a.m. start for me, so if that makes you feel any better. So
Yeah, I know people that it's like they wake up at 5 and they don't leave until 5. That's their day to day. And don't get me
yeah,
wrong, that's not bad. It gives you purpose, and it rules your life in a sense. And I get it, but shit, man, and the things you could do with that kind of time. And now
yeah,
it's like the trade off is they better pay you fucking well. Is the way I see it.
mm-hmm.
Otherwise, I wouldn't fucking do it.
Nope,
There's
not
no
for
amount
me
of
either.
money that money can trade for that kind of time in my book, because that's too much fucking time for me. Hey, what's up, Beta?
I've been looking at rebuilding my alts, and it's something I really don't want to do because of how much it's going to cost.
Yeah,
Yeah, I worked out what I'd need roughly to get 8 mixed marches at tier 4 for each account, and it's gonna be. Hold on, I put it in my notes up here so I can remember. 257 days to Bulldogs Forever, 241 days to Watchdog, 345 days to Mitziling, and 470 days to Bucknell. And on top of that, it'd be 1,000 days to get my main back up to the 2 mil of each tier 4 it once had. Which
I
I'm
probably ought to buy
more than
Mythic Forge for the Embers. That's the Ember bag, isn't it?
I believe so.
Go ahead and buy that.
Which, to be honest, I'm much more inclined to just do my main than all my alts. Because then my main's at a point where even if someone does catch an anti-scout on it, they're not gonna fucking try it.
I'd try doing 30 pulls. There's one legendary. Try doing a 6 pull maybe. Oh, that was awful. Okay, try 34 maybe. It's not much better. 25. Yeah, game fucking hated me for that. Should never have done that. Well, let's see. How many more embers do I need? I'm just gonna probably dump into embers real quick.
Righto. Get
Shit.
yourself them mythic champ boots.
Yeah, that's what we just need to figure out. So 109 equated to 7? A lot more than that. Damn it. Grab the other pack here. This may or may not send me. Hoping not. Remember which account this is logged into, so we're about to find out. Hoping it's the right one. Damn it, it wasn't. I had a feeling. Damn it. That's alright. Swap accounts there. Hang on a minute. I'm done here. I guess we can kind of look and see, at least now we can find out what the cup needs. Oh yeah, no, I've only got 3. Oh yeah, it's not even close. Not even close.
Yikes.
Grab my freebie. Okay. Back to tokens we go.
Wow, I got 30 gems. So helpful.
Adds up.
Not
Every
when
little bit counts, man.
not when things cost what they're going to cost for me to do anything meaningful.
And that's IGG for
Hmm. Fucking. Jesus Christ, the gold too.
Yep. I go 100 on a time here. Okay. Well, that last drop I got 2. Well, alright, that should put me at 15. Yep, I'm at 15 now. And let's see how many more I got. 26.
So you're 3 off.
No.
It's not horrible.
The main thing is it's enough for the actual boots themselves. So,
Wait, is it?
yeah, it's 15.
Oh, I was thinking of the chest. I was thinking 29 because I was thinking of the chest.
Yeah, it's only 15 for the strides, so it's more than enough to mythic that. But then it's like 17 for the cup.
Mm.
If I want to do a cup, I'll have to dump into that again.
Yeah.
Because now I probably ought to go back to the news tab and go do my rounds again.
Yeah.
They haven't populated yet. I'm at 23. I'm not far. Might as well keep going at it. Alright. Well, at least for the alt anyway. It's at a point where now it's just wait for their rotation. Luckily, I think I got it just in time before the
Yeah.
reset.
Almost right on. I am $40 away from my next castle skin. My castle star, sorry. Which will
Hmm.
put me at 171.
750 fortune chests and 100 chests of coaching, learning, and merging for $100.
Oh,
Bizarre. Might
no.
might be the worst fucking investment I've ever seen. It'd be nice if that actually had things I wanted, though. Like, if it did, I'd actually consider it. Like, for example, if it told me, hey, you can have 2,000 champ chests for $100. Yeah. But that'd be too easy.
2,000 champ chests for $100. That's not even. What does a 100 rising champ give you again?
It's gotta be up
Isn't
in
it?
around 750 to 1,000, I think.
Because I know the 20's 200. I know the $50 like way of the champion or whatever gives you 600, and it's slightly better than the 50 rising champ, which I think might be 500. No, because you get yeah, it's 1,000 because you get 1750 a pop for a full run. So it's slightly better to buy through way of the champion than what's him a doobie rising champ.
Yeah.
So I've just finished negotiations with our Turkish allies. Looks
Yeah.
like base is back to us.
Yeah. Cool. Let's see here. I suppose I could probably work on making the second blight ring. Let's see.
I need 16 more Astrolite for my level 2 Valor, which will give me 0.3% Cav range attack, 0.2% army attack, and 0.5% HP. Uh, the amount I spend for the tiniest stat increases.
I just need to get 7 more legendaries. I'll be good to go on the blight ring. And then I'll have to get 5 and another 7 on top of that. Thick version of that. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's gonna be a lot of
So
shit.
what are you switching out for the Blight Ring?
Uh, Down the road, I planned on taking the drum out for the new blight ring, and then the
Yes.
other blight
Probably.
ring that I've currently got. I could do one of two things. I can either max a polar ring which was, that came to mind because I've got a blue polar ring right now.
I don't think a polar ring's. I mean, it's literally. Polar ring could be a good call.
The polar ring's the equivalent of an ambrosial cup.
Yeah, cav range.
It's just a way to, if I end up having range and HP in two places and an ambrosial, it just makes sense to then have a polar. But I don't know, it's like at the same time, what's more important? Because I could also get HP out of the blight, and if I just went all blight rings, for example, that may not even be a bad idea.
Okay, hear me out. What I'm about to propose is a very crazy, radical idea, but it may just work. So, you build yourself a faith, then you rock a faith, a cup, a polar ring.
Faith, a cup, and a polar.
Uh-huh.
Well, Rising Champion's out, so grab that. First thing I gotta do what I did
What do I need to
before.
buy today? Oh, wave crashes out. Um, looks like it's just gonna be wave crash and let's celebrate. Unless I've scrolled past something, which is possible. Wave crasher and let's celebrate it is. Unless that is that let it snow out again? Or you probably know you didn't pick it up.
I haven't checked yet.
Well, you didn't pick it up yesterday or before reset, so it's probably still up for you. Oh, it is back out. Let's go. This could be my +3 or +2 Valor here. If I get lucky. But because I'm saying something about it, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, thanks yourself. Okay. Hello, hello. Okay. 72 corrosive toxin. Is that good or bad?
That's the $10 pack, right?
Eh,
It's better than it used to be. It used to be only 64.
doesn't sound so bad. I could grab that. I don't know though. We'll see how the champ pack deal works out here.
Fair enough.
We'll be pretty close. Could also grab tons of tokens though. Go add us on the tokens again, but I gotta get loads now. That's important. Now I have almost like magic. I now have, let's see, how many,
Come on,
many
give
champ
me your
chests?
stuff.
1,870
no.
champ chests.
Okay, I got 4, so at least I got some Astral.
Or if there's anything else that gives champ.
Is Way of the Champ out?
No, Rising Champion was.
Uh,
And $100 of that is 1,000.
yeah. I'm not doing Rising Champ. I'll do Way of the Champion.
Yeah, if Way of the Champion pops up, I'll probably buy it.
It's a slight improvement in value, so
Well, once we get done doing the tokens, we'll probably do that
shit.
unboxing of champ.
I'm on a dip from the call. I'll catch you later.
Okay.
See ya.
Yep. See ya. Anyway, guys, like I said, we'll do some champ here in a bit. Take a look at that. Kind of see what our luck looks like here, and we'll just kind of go from there. Any luck, maybe we'll get lucky. Maybe. Suppose I could probably check and see if it's. Nah, nothing too exciting yet. Anyone? Getting a bunch of halos. And we'll just have champ chests. It probably hold on to grab it during the next rotation. Do like an 8,000 chest champ opening or something like that. Make a pretty good video, I think. At least now we got two of the mains. Lego. What's that? Alrighty, so this most spirit. Which I'll set to go. It's just a matter of buying champagne. A biggie. Okay. So, or just 900 then. Alright. So many goddamn Euro chests. It's not even funny anymore. Damn. Making some gems at least, I guess. How many troops am I packing? Like what, my main? And so my main I've got, I don't know, probably close to a couple mil, but I need to build up more. I've got the speeds to do it, just not the resources at the moment. I just need to get a bank or two. I need to do. Okay, so like on the alt, there's, I don't know, close to like 2 mil across for T4, and then 5-ish mil across, 6 mil in range, but that's on T2s. And main, on the other hand, is considerably worse. It's like 500k, a mil in range, and 500, maybe 500k in cap, and then 200k across, I think, for your T5s. And then for T2, I'm like 4 mil. Yeah, I'd like to add more T4 to it if I can. Or T2. Probably T2, but I think T4 wouldn't hurt since I've only got 2.1 mil range. I'd like to build that up to like 500k. More than when it's at, make it like 3 mil. Because I think if I had 3 million tier 4 across, it'd be better. To do that, I gotta have a lot of speeds to do that too. I don't know if I got the speeds, but I might. Probably don't. Yeah. My main I do, but my alt it's only a couple hundred. Not a lot, but a little. But I'd have to get some resources on both accounts probably to do that. I'd probably need like $1.5 billion, probably, or 2 billion for both accounts. Probably. That'd be like packing 2 billion across. 2 accounts is probably not easily attainable, but I could be wrong. Something else we'll have to do sometime is play some games. I mean, see how that looks. Like, I figured if we can get a couple of banks pulled together, probably just dump a bunch onto these accounts, and then that's how we do it. But you'd have to dump billion. And it'd probably be 3 billion, 4 billion. If I was gonna do it, I'd probably go all in. I figure if I get the champ piece on this and then get the mythic piece started, start doing Asterix probably around that time, probably start dumping that way. Oh hell. Well, how much is a bank resources? Is that a bill across, or is that a couple hundred mil? And I'm assuming it's a billion across. Which, yeah, for that amount, it's god awful. Oh, that's 4 billion? Fuck. 4 billion a pop's not bad. I just need a fucking account now that doesn't burn food. Of course I do. I have accounts that all they do is burn food. Floating gold? Yeah. It's not bad at all. We could probably, like, for 2 of those, you'd have enough on both accounts. I don't know if I'd burn through 4 bill or not, though. I'd like to think I could, though. Just in building the troops. I think it's like, what, close to fucking 20 mil? For every, like, 10 to 15,000 or something? Yeah, I could go back and do the math, I guess, and just look and see what 1.5 million T4... I think the T4 calculators that are out there would be able to tell me that. Uncertain there. I did T4 troops. It's that's gonna cost 1.4 billion food, 975 million or so across, and then 600 million gold. That's for 500k, so it's about $1 billion or so per. So if I went up to say 0.5, that's 2 billion or so. So yeah, that'd be probably right around the amount, with about 2 bill to spare. Isn't terrible. Terrible at all. Could conceivably do that. We can take like a couple of banks and just dump it all onto that fucking main even. I'd probably do that on both accounts. That's what I'd probably end up doing. Should build enough T4s. My main, on the other hand, would be a different story. I'd need to build a mill or 2 per type. I'd probably make 3 mil across. I've only got a mill and then 500k, so I'd be in excess of 3 million, and that'd probably be about 10 billion. We're pretty damn close to it, anyway. Yeah, no, it's funny when you think about the numbers behind that. That's actually an astronomical amount of resources for the kind of troops you need to be able to defend yourself, you know? That's kind of how it's gotten to that point where it's like, the comp's not solid though, then you're fucked. Well, that's just training troops on my main. Fucking alt probably wouldn't be so bad, but... I'm thinking that's probably what it would take, though, is I'd probably have to buy like 5 banks to do my main. I'm thinking it's gonna be 20 billion between my alt and my main. I mean, that's just, I'm doing a rough estimate in my head in here, but that's if it's about $1 billion or so per every 500k. Yeah, that's probably when we'll do it. That's probably how we should do it anyway. Take advantage of the bonus, and I can do my main and my alt that way. For like what, 22 times 5? I don't know. I don't even know if that's even achievable, but assuming it is. Yeah. We're making our headway though. Not getting some sweet old time, but it's getting there. Yeah. Well, I'm thinking just speeds wise. I haven't really thought of that, but yeah, I probably got to factor in the speeds too. That's probably a few $100. Probably. Yeah, that's a little flavor to the issue there. So now what we just need is we need to come up with a system where all we have that are just resources, right? Hear me out. Like, find a way where we could get like a streamlined process where we don't have to get banks anymore, and we just have tons of resources all the time. I don't know how we do it. That's gotta be the way to go in this game. Somebody somewhere's figured out how to do it. I just need to be able to mimic that. Somehow, someway. I don't know how you'd scale it, but god damn it, man. Somebody somewhere knows how to do it, though. You got 4 billion across. You can... Yeah. Yeah. Like, Device of the century. It's like, how do you do it? Bots. How does one possibly have this many resources? Ah. Solution to one's $1 million problem. Oh no shit. They even do that these days. Crazy. Alright, I'm gonna have this run for a little bit. I'll be back. Won't be gone long. Right. Well, yeah, we're making headway. 194. One thing that comes to mind though is it's like whenever you're, I don't know, if you ever burn this many tokens, it's hard to rationalize how long burning 1,000 tokens is until you actually burn 1,000 tokens. Then you realize it's like literally an hour or two of just sitting here watching it fucking just do a dice roll. It's all it does. All fucking, like, Jesus Christ. I don't know how far we are, and I'd like to find out. So we're just gonna take a look. We've made a hell of a lot of progress on that, I think. Like, I probably haven't got any, still got a day on that, okay. Grab our freebies here. Run there, gotta get your freebies. Let's see, oh yeah. Check and see how many packs we have. Got 11 of those. Yeah, we've gotta get 200 though. Christ. Gonna have a lot of Bon Appetits. And Gargantua, which we need. Same thing for Black Wind too. Only thing I need is Bon Appetit. So. Cracking up gems, I guess. This looks good, so. Back to the. Oh, I guess we can also look at the. Let's see how far along there. Four now. Made some headway on that. Four of them. I mean, that's not bad. Thanks a lot. Good thing in Burgess. Don't know how many chests I'll have either. But... Alright, that's bad. Bad, not too bad. I'd have to buy a bank every 2 weeks? Oh. Well, I suppose that's probably how they stay in business then, though. I guess that's something to consider, but... I don't know, I mean, so rationally, I'm thinking it's like, if I was to buy 5 banks, that's more than enough resources to rebuild the main and the alt. Maybe a little spare just to, you know, play with and fight with. Right? You buy 5 of them, that's 20 billion across. And then all you gotta do is turn around and use the 20 billion that week. I don't know how long it would take to transfer 20 billion, but that'd be quite a bit to burn through, I would imagine. If a person had 20 billion, it'd be pretty hard to burn through that, I think. But I think I'd run out of... I'd probably run out of speeds before I'd burn through it, is the thing. I'd have to like start buying training packs for the day, tomorrow, and the next 7 days, probably. I guess is achievable. Just buy speeds. Okay. And so that's probably the other rationalization, is it's like you can also really buy the speeds too, couldn't you? Cheap. You turn around, you buy up all the speeds, and then buy up all the resources, and then pretty much set. But yeah, that makes sense. I don't know. Personally, we burned through like almost 1,000 tokens. Well, that's not bad. Yeah. Yeah, I mean the T5s would take considerably more. That's mostly the Lunite side of it, I'm sure. I guess that's an idea for doing that. Here if that calculator tells me how many speeds I would make. $370 days worth for 1,000,000. A number to it, I guess. It's 578,000 gems worth. If it's like done in 24s, right? I guess I could see what the ratio would be at 370 days. Yeah. I was gymming it. 124 at a time is 1,500 gems. And it's 370 per 1 mil, and I did 3 mil across. Then calculator. 375 days times 500. 562,500 divided by 6%. That's which would be not the number I want. It's 562,500. It's gems, but it's technically that divided by 6. Actually, it's 6 times $6.05. 36 bucks. For about $40 speeds. Roughly. Oh, they want to fucking taunt me? The diamond shop is holding a special sale. Get 30% more diamonds for your first purchase. That's strictly only the diamond shop? Can you do that with... That's through PayPal. Means you get 64,000. Oh, hold on a minute. I got a $500 pack option in here now. Where normally you get 10,000. I don't know, I might be tempted to do that actually. That would be a... $4,000. Shit ton of massive. Normally, you get 9,999. I'm getting 16%. Normally gives me around 20. In all actuality, I'm really getting 11,998. That's giving me 12,099. That rate's actually better than the rate that I'm currently getting with Aptoid. So if I did a $500 pack of that at 30%, that'd actually be pretty fucking advantageous. If I used it all on chant packs, that'd probably be the way to do it. Just do that. Actually, better deal. Do that. Do they have any events going? Surely if they're doing that, they'll probably be doing something else shortly. Anyway, though. They are. If they have yet, but. Oh, I now have 69,000 diamonds. Alright. Well, I've had to do this for champ packs, or conceivably for a while. Yeah. 30% is what they were giving. So for $100, you normally get 9,999. But for $500, they were doing like, I think it was like 60,000 or so diamonds, which is equivalent of a $500 back, and then 30% of $500. Which for a one-time thing, yeah, that's not a bad deal. And just to prove that I'm not fucking just talking, shit here. I have it hidden. Here. There. Okay, but anyway. Yeah. That'll cover fucking champ packs for a while. I'll probably buy the next rotation when Way of Champion shows up. So. We'll do that. That's your mythic champ chest and then some. Yeah. See, that was just it. I was looking at that and I'm like, IGG always does these deals once in a while. I think that might just be worth it. Especially since what I plan to do on this account is probably do just that, so. Makes sense to me anyway. And tell you what, if they do another fucking 30% like that again, I might just do that again. 30% that's a pretty attractive amount. Thing is, it's always been that way though, for like the longest fucking time. Is that if you want something in this game, you have to buy in bulk. Because you're never gonna get shit on the tiny amounts. Because they'll fucking nitpick the fucking piss out of it, but if you give them a lot of money up front, then the discounts and shit that come along with it, especially if you do it as like during events and stuff like that, you wind up getting more of your capital back in return. That's why a lot of the super heavy beta wins in this game have never really blinked an eye. It's because it's like there's no incentive for them to go on the cheap. Makes sense to go fucking max out. Yeah, I could look at your gear, Kyle. We're only down to 50 tokens here anyhow, so we're looking at probably not getting a 1.1 million gem fucking bonus anyway, which kinda sucks, but seems to be my fucking luck. I can pop 1,000 tokens and never once hit a fucking jackpot. Arcane gold too, That got any spaces in it? How do you even spell it? Strictly the way you spelled it here? Trying different queries, but they all kind of give me the same, all give me the same answer. Getting lots of different answers. Lots of different accounts that come up for that name. Yeah, no, it's just like 1,000 tokens and no jackpot's pretty fucking common. If it's on all caps, that doesn't change the outcome either. Or Angel. Ah. With spaces, no spaces. Okay. Well, why the hell it wouldn't work earlier? Valid data. Interesting. Very interesting indeed. Looking at an Archangel 2022. It's 336 mil. There's like a 57 mil. E1W. It might be easier for me to go by guild than by name then, because the names that I'm looking at here coming up. Pick your name out of here, probably. Anyway. Big maybe on that. Shit. Oh, there you are. That's a mighty... Yeah, I know, it took me a while to figure it out. Okay, so... let's take a look. You have, like, I think 2 spaces. That's why I could never find it. But yeah. Okay, so you've got, looks like Talons, got the Frostwing Sword, 2 Ambrosial Cups, and then Book of the Dead. I can tell you from experience that you're gonna find trying to max 2 Ambrosial Cups is almost near impossible. You're better off doing 1 at a time. And then if you need like a slot in there, you can get like a Blight Ring, which is easier. 330. And I will say that, you know, as far as heavy set pieces go, chant pieces are always a bitch. So, and I can tell you that because, you know, oh fuck yeah, Crow, we can do gear checks. Why the hell not, right? But shit, I mean, where do I even start and begin? I don't even know. I will say though that at least from where I'm standing, it's like gear wise, I can tell you the Frostwing Sword you'll get, the Talons you'll get maxed out without too much trouble. The Book of the Dead, being that it's a newer piece in the game, that's gonna be a fucking painful. In fact, that might be the worst one. And I only say this because Book of the Dead is, while it's got some gain return on it, the rarity issue is the same deal with the Ambrosials. It's gonna be a bitch to do. Once it's maxed though, it's not a bad piece. That's like an equivalent to and I can show you what I mean. It's very similar to like in the Necrosis set, right? You have Imp Cav and Imp HP that you're getting in this accessory, which is kind of comparable to, I believe, your, you know, as far as like Imp pieces go. I think the Cottage Roar set has the Ghastly Cane being the top piece for the, like, the main hand. So yeah, 330. Yeah. I mean, because 330 is not bad. You'll get eventually to the 400 or 500% range, but that shit's, at least starting out, that's all going to be terribly expensive. It's almost impossible unless you're willing to burn some capital into it. The mitts are at blue. No, the mitts are probably not a bad choice then, because the offhand that you're using is, I mean, it's good, but it's like, and here I've got to go back and I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna try it. I think you just had 2 spaces. That's why I couldn't find it. Okay. But yeah, as far as like working on the gear pieces themselves, assuming money's not a problem, then yeah, I mean the K-Tar is good for training speed. But you'll probably want the HP, and I agree. I'd rather get the meds. So Great Sword or Skull Crusher? Well, I mean, in terms of stats, the Skull Crusher's got a lot of advantages. Because the Skull Crusher is basically like, well, the reason why people get this all fucked up is because they don't understand that when you look at the Skull Crusher, it's a base stat of like 20% plus 11 on range. As opposed to where, say for example, if you wear the Greatsword from Frostwing Greatsword, right? You get 20, 28, and then 17. You wind up actually get yourself screwed because you're losing stats on the range side of things. Whereas if you're using the Crusher, you don't. You get a pretty straight, flat, mixed stat ratio because it's army attack. That's the reason why people pick the Crusher over the Greatsword. And that isn't to say that, if you can get a Crusher up to same tier, then yeah, swap it. Like, it's kind of a similar reason why I'm actually doing the same thing. Like, I've got a purple Crusher in here, but until that Crusher gets up to even Mythic, I'm not going to consider it. But it's 28% mixed, which compared to the Greatsword, it's 28 mixed plus another 20% into range. That's a substantial fucking bonus if you're going mixed. But you also got to get there, and that's the thing that nobody likes to think about. But as you might imagine, it does take quite a bit to get there. Okay, Book of the Dead or Ring at green? Okay. Well, that's going to be a question of army HP versus inf attack, and I think that's really dependent on what you're trying to do. Like, for example, when I'm trapping, I've actually started to look and more at my set. For example, like I want to take my drum out and put another blight ring in for the HP. Now, like in your case where you're wanting to take the actual Book of the Dead at green, I mean, because the only trouble with necrosis sets at green is you're getting 7, 7, 6, and then 4. Whereas if you're going the range side of things, for the Mega Maggot, you're getting 4, and then 4% across in HP and 4% across in defense. So you're only going to max 1 stat as opposed to 2 stats at 7. Now, technically, if we're going to sit here and compare greens, then the Book of the Dead's a better choice. But when you're starting to talk, okay, let's say a purple ring versus, say, a green version of the Book of the Dead, then it's going to very easily favor no longer the Book of the Dead. And that's only because the rares needed for this piece of gear is stupid. Like, you need a stupid amount of those rares in order to get this thing upgraded. And when you compare the rare cost, it's not anywhere near as bad. 7 to 18 is a pretty substantial difference. 3 gold Book of the Dead? Well, that's not bad. It's not bad at all. I mean, I'll always take, the better piece of gear, but that's just... I will point it out, though, that, like, okay, let's say you had these both maxed out, right? You've got 19% range here, 21 and 21. Okay, that's pretty damn good. But now if you compare that to, say, a necrosis equivalent to that, and you're doing 21 and 21 versus 35 and 35, it's a question of, how much range do you need? Because if you don't need range as much, then the Book of the Dead comparably is better because you're getting inf and cav damage. But that's only worthy of, a person's interest if they're after inf and cav damage. And if you don't need the inf and cav, then yeah, you probably don't rationalize it too much. Kind of like when you're looking at like an ambrosial cup for me. When you look at an ambrosial, it's a very similar situation. 35 and 35 with 21 in the respective stats. in the Book of the Dead, it's very similar. The Polar Ring is a very similar situation here, where it's 21 and 21 and 35 and 35. The Book of Dead is kind of like that answer to an inf player's solution. A lot of the time, those pieces are really not selected for mix sets so much as they're made for two-piece sets. And more specifically, that particular piece, which is buffing HP and buffing Inf and Cav, is just a weaker version of what you can find in a Polar Ring. But the only difference is instead of having, Inf damage, you're getting range damage in a Polar Ring. Whereas if you go an Ambrosial, you're going to get Inf damage and range damage, but HP here. But then no Cav damage. So the Book of the Dead's kind of that little slice of life that falls in between those. Now, I believe within, and knowing how IGG is going to handle gear in the next couple of years, because I'm only expecting there to be more Labyrinth monsters. There's going to be more 2-type sets, I think, like those out there. I expect it, because we've already got what I call better one pieces that they've made for different sets to kind of fill the gap for the higher tier players of the game. But I feel like it's going in that direction where eventually what'll happen is T6 will become a thing. They'll add mythic heroes, and then they'll start going in here and they'll either create new sigils, and then when those sigils come out, they'll more than likely start needing wonder gear. Like, gear are made for wonders. It'll no longer be a question of whether or not it's like base stats. It's just all shit that, like, I can see it, because you look at like the champion set right now, and the champion set's pretty much everybody in the main wonder battles, and it's like now they've got Dominion gear, and Dominion gear is not that good, but it's supposed to be kind of an intermediary piece of gear that you wear to eventually get to Battle Royale. And Battle Royale was kind of a fucking, I don't know, that was a goddamn mess. I watched the shit out of that. And it's like now they've got Supreme on top of the word Emperor. It's funny because it's, I mean, really, look at this guy. I mean, he's got the goddamn mythic equivalents of these pieces. It's a stupid amount of stats. I'd hate to be the guy that gets hit by this guy. Hey, if you're in Kingdom 760, rest in peace. Well, not necessarily like champ. It's literally looking at like what I'm looking at right now. These are all imp pieces. Now, if you go and say look at like, the store within here, they're trying to prioritize people into fighting. And I think sooner or later they're going to start giving us more events like this, where it's like you got Chalice, you got Baron. I think they're going to try and incentivize players to fight each other more and more as the game progressively gets more kingdoms. Because the only thing that people can do these days is, KVK was the way that we used to do it. And now people are moving away from KVK and they're looking towards things like Chalice and Battle Royale and Baron, because you're going to get titles, you're going to get rewards, you're going to... Eventually, I think the game is drifting in such a way that a lot of that is all going to be the primary focus. And so things like champion gear is still going to be relevant, but these pieces and these outside pieces of gear are going to become more relevant when you're dealing with people that are dealing in the Wonder Battle side of things, I think. I don't know exactly when it'll happen, but I know that at some point they'll have, some uptick there. Artifacts have already kind of shown themselves to be kind of that answer to fill in the gap for players to build up. I think more familiars are on the way. I don't think we've seen the last of this yet. I'm sure that will come through it, and when it does, it's going to come through at full force. Anyway, we didn't hit it, and we used up all our tokens, so 300 and some odd thousand later. Let's see. Looks like we have our start to what will eventually be our 5th legendary Halo. There's that. I don't suppose. And see, it's funny. How I can like go onto my main, and fucking diamonds don't share across accounts. Yeah, I haven't forgot shit, Grimdark. Just looking at my alt here, at my main. But you're like, no, don't you forget me. I don't blame you. I honestly, I could pass out at any moment, so probably not a bad thing you reminded me. Yeah, it's like overall, I think. I don't know exactly what direction the game's gonna go in, but once it goes in that direction, I know that there's no going back. Dragon Arena is already getting pretty goddamn interesting. Alright, so which account are we looking at, Grimdor? Which one are we looking at? Are we looking at your main? Are we looking at the alts? Which one are we looking at? I'm gonna say it's your main, but I don't know. I feel like you got one gold cup, Isha. Okay. Here. Yeah, see, this is what money looks like, guys. No fucking full set. Now you gotta temper it all. Christ on a stick. Plus, you've got a fair amount of stars. You say you don't have a ton of stars, but dude, you got 400 stars, dude. It's quite a bit. Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, you've got 170 castle stars on Sucker. You've got some fucking stats going on there. It's interesting you decided to do, you did a cav, a pair of faiths. See, I would go all faiths. Oh, am I? Oh shit, yeah, I am. Look. Yeah, here. Ha! No more. I like how I could just hide them like that. Yeah. Here you go, guys. You can see the boots now. Alright, anyway. Yeah, anyway. I love how I could just do that though. I can just hide the important parts of, you know, someone's gear. Don't mind the 12 Astro. Don't mind that. You know, just care about everything else. Just don't pay any attention to the fact that he's got, you know, tempered 12. God damn the strides. Oh shit. Yeah. No, it's not a bad thing. I'm just... It's just interesting that you decided to go there, right? I see a lot of people that they'll do, like, all of one type. For a long time, that was the way that shit went. Everybody went all faiths. Or they went all valors, or all blessings. So when somebody goes a pair of faiths and a valor, it's like, interesting. Like changing course here. A little change. Now, come to think of it, what's a faith cost? 14? Holy shit. 41? Holy mother trucker, that's a stupid amount. I didn't realize it was that much. Holy. Okay, hang on. Allow me to demonstrate here, okay? Now, here's an education in what that costs. 24 embers, legendary. 8 crimson veins. Okay, then you take in consideration the champion light. There's 6 there and 18 embers there. Then you got the helmet. Now the helmet's a big plus. There's 7 in that, 21 there. Of course, you know, then you throw in the plate. Now there's 10 and 29 there. Here you got the stride, that's the cheapest of the bunch. You got 5 there and 15 in the other slot. Then you got the faith, which is a whole whopping 14 and 41 embers. God damn. It's absolutely fucking nutty. Yeah, so that's what my comp looks like right now. Okay, take a look. My comp looks like shit. I have to work on that. But... oh shit. A whole different frickin' set. God damn. Jesus, dude. Okay, in case anybody's wondering, yes, I'll move. Alright. Right there. Right there. See it? See it? Yeah, see it? Nah. Still, Jesus, man. Yeah, my 2-4s are fucking disarray. I've kind of treated them like a redheaded stepchild, and I really can't help myself. They're just in worse repair than they need to be. But that's just kind of the way that shit goes. I don't think I got 4 mil there, but I've got to work on the T5s and the T4s. They're a project for next week. We'll get that sorted out, though. And once we've got that sorted out, then we can probably go to town. But if anything, my alt not doing too bad. It's basically now all you gotta do is work on a couple of things. But like right now, I'd like to get this fear drum swapped out, and I either want to get that blight ring done, or. And I hear you out, but, you know, that faith is... holy shit, that faith, mate. The faith would take a while, but I think I can get strides done. So we've got 1,800 champ chests. We'll probably wait until I can get, like, 10,000, and then we'll just open them. But I've got 1,870 right there. And that 30% discount fucking shit that IGG just did, I just... went ahead and bought that, so now I got 69,000 fucking diamonds. So now we're just gonna be sitting around waiting for chant packs and Way of the Champion. Do a faith, a valor, and a cut. Yeah. That's probably the way to do it. Just gonna buy the fucking chant packs for like the next fucking week or two. And then we'll be duper deckered, and I don't care if my alt ends up having better fucking war gear than my fucking main, because in some ways I think it would be more advantageous for this account to be 500 million. And see, the thing is I look at this account and I go, this account's more valuable in part because its might is so fucking low. So if I had like a duper deckered account like that, and it's sitting in fucking champ gear and it's all mythic, you're not gonna expect it. And the worst part is this account could become a rally lead, and you'd be freaked out because you're looking at it going, huh? You know? And that's the thing I like about it, is it has the, oh, what? Factor to it, you know? And I think that's kind of the thing that nobody really thinks about. You know, it's like, it could trap, but you give it a fucking, you know, a couple of gear stats, and then it suddenly isn't a trap anymore. It could very quickly become much more than that. Yeah, it would need to. You're right, it would need T5. That is true. And I'd have to go through and probably max out these, but, you know, hell, I'm not far from getting Frostwing. Not far from Queen Bee. I'm farther on that than I'd like to be. Same thing for Blackwing. think for Bon Appetit. It would take some time to get these. I'd have to roll Tycoon, probably. But Jade Worm, we're almost done. We'll have Jade Worm. We'll have him pretty much, you know. And then I guess the heroes, that'd be the only other thing. I got Chronicler started, but I have to do Lore Weaver and probably Berserker. Start buying those up every time they showed up. You know, but then eventually I'd have it. So I don't know. I rationalize putting chant pieces in one part of the account and then a Strident in the other, you know, and that's all my rationalization needs, you know. We'll do that and just kind of try our luck. Ultimately, over the span of a couple of months, I'm sure we'll have at least somewhere in that equation. I think we'll have it so that this account can really do a number on people. Bags are doing a lot better than they were, though, between both accounts. It's just I need to probably store more on my main. My main's not doing too pretty yet. It's getting there, but it still needs a lot of love. My main account gets treated like a redheaded stepchild, so it doesn't do too well on anything, really. I don't know. I mean, even on a good day, if I bought like chant packs left and right on this account, I'd probably be more willing to do it if there was an advantage there, but I just don't have it. So if I had it on my main, though, that's what I'd end up doing, because I'd probably start doing Astra. Do Astra, and then probably max out the... I'd have to do, like... Still quite a ways from doing it, too. And I got it started, but I'd have to get a lot more pearls and stuff. I'd max my storm tacits out, and then I'd have to go back through and start doing knits and stuff. I mean, it's all within reason. Cab set, I got an Eon max at purple, but it'll take more time to get that thing to mythic, probably. I guess I can show you guys what I'm talking about while I'm doing this. This is what my imp set looks like. None of this is Astra, because when they had that Astra update, I didn't really bother. In fact, I don't even know how much Astra I even have. To be honest, I probably don't have any. Yeah. I have a lot of, like, the Astralight you get from the others, though. Like, I got a Champ Lamp on here. I think at one time I might have worked on it, but, like, the cab-wise, that's what my cab set looks like. And as you might imagine, I'm gonna go through and do the drums. Well, Astralight the drums. I know I can do Astra on drums. That'll work my drum stats up quite a bit. Drum. Cab! Hold on. My brain's tired, you know? It's been a day. But my imp set, my cab set, my range set they're not in terrible shape. It's just... It would help if they weren't complete dog shit. At least I have like a mythic Skullcrusher on this account, so if I started doing that, that'd give me 30 and 40. Like a mythic Skullcrusher would be a pretty formidable piece of gear. Plus, if I went and started doing the next set, I'd actually have probably more in this account, like for doing a bunch of rallies and shit like that. I could do that on this account, probably. And if I started doing Astra on it, I'd actually probably manage a lot better. So the thing is you look at it and you go, God, those are nice. It's like, yeah, but I also see everything that they don't have. So it's like, yeah, I mean, they're good, but they're not full Astra. And I know how much you get in Astra now, so I'm sitting here going, I need to do Astra on this. And it's not any different with, like, my artifacts. It's the same problem. I look at it and I go, I need to do this. I haven't done that yet. Got a long ways to go still. It's just a thought. It needs to be done at some point. This I could probably go ahead and do. Not really any harm in doing it. It's just gonna give me some HP. But yeah. As if there's anything I would do to this account, I'd probably finish. I could probably get. I'm further along in the artifacts in this account too. So I mean, it's like in more ways than one, this account would actually be a better trap or a better rally lane. If I were to dump more and more capital into this account, I'd actually have probably a better set of everything, you know. But I don't know, for some reason I feel like it's, I don't know, I could, but I don't know if I want to. I'm just kind of happy with the way it's at now. And at some point, I'll change my mind and I'll start dumping into it again, but for now, I'm just gonna build troops and then use it to throw fucking troops at a wall. That's probably where I'm at with it. When I get tired of throwing troops at a wall, I'll switch it up a bit. Maybe use it to throw troops at a different wall. I mean, hell, like right now, it's, you know, it's just mainly doing the mini things. Like I even have, you know, your Jade Worm. I don't have Divine Fire though, but it wouldn't take much to get there. Because all I'd have to do is start buying the fucking pack for it. And just start going down the rabbit hole of that. It wouldn't take much for that at all. I've got Huey. Got Mecha maxed out, so I mean I could start doing Trojan. Or, come to think of it, I think we might just do that actually. Go ahead and start rocking this. Probably stop for today, but I'm gonna sit here and start doing Trojan. Eventually you can get Trojan maxed out at some point. They're round of 13 here. Have it go on and away. Hey, what's up, Grey Ghost? Doing good. If there's anything I'll do, it's probably that. I will say, as far as artifact challenge goes, I don't know about you guys, but I've seen the Starry Well. I don't like it. But it's cool, but not that cool. Not $40 cool. Unless you really try hard, go through the event, get it free to play, then all the power to you. But I can tell you, if it was an option to get it, I would not strive for it if it were me. Not a big fan of it. The events are all kind of. Well, that's something else too, though. It's like I used to join a Battle Royale and Baron, and I might do that again. Let's just start doing that. Do like Dragon Arena and Baron, because one of the things that I can do is actually start racking up jewels again. If there was anything I was working on a long ass time ago, was I was working on my Royal Cab Jewels. Gonna get me a set of Royal Cab Jewels. That was my plan anyway. And then I was also working on Dragon Cab Jewels. Because my goal was I was gonna have Dragon and Royal Cab Jewels. That was my ultimate goal. So I was gonna get 10% in HP and 10% attack, and then 15%, you know, from that extra 5, and then 20 that you normally get from the normal Cab Jewel. And that would rack you up, you know, what, 30-40%? With a little HP on top, you know? But, you know, in order to do this, I'd have to go back through, and I more than likely, if I do anything in this account, this will probably be one of those things that I'll probably one day just decide that I'm going to just start doing Astra. And I'll just start astralighting a single set of gear. So like, I'll just wake up and go, you know, I'm gonna go astralight my cab set, and then that's all I'll do for like fucking years. Just work on the astralight. But again, this is assuming that, you know, it's like See, that's the thing. As far as slots go, I'm almost never around for it. But yeah. I wish I was more often. I'm working usually during it, so I'm not even around, which kind of sucks, but kind of the downside, I guess. That's what it is. But even on a good day, I'd like to come back to Dragon Arena again. A lot of things you can do in Dragon Arena that are a lot of fun. Get back to testing shit and playing around. But I'm thinking, at least with my alt in particular, if I can get the stride done, and then start doing the Astra on the stride, that'll be nice. Then if I've got enough chests, enough mains afterwards, then maybe I can turn around and use the mains to make him a faith, I guess. And we can take the drum out, and we'll just put a faith in there instead. Which, you know, I'm down for. I'll see that through. I don't mind that, but I gotta make sure I get those 12 strides done though. Get the Astra 12 strides to be the bomb. Then at least everything else I think will all kind of fall into place. If there's anything I do more of though than anything else, it's basically just sit in monster hunting gear and pop the goddamn level 3s and 4s that I find. If I go find a level 3 Trojan, high MP defense, right? And a lot of people, they look up the teams and shit. I don't see the point. You just need to know what the goddamn thing's, you know, immune to. In this case, I know it's not good against physicals, so I can either throw a tracker in, because I guarantee you, it doesn't matter if it's physical or magic, that's pure damage. So trackers almost always has to be in almost every team in some capacity, because it's a stupid amount of single target damage that gets left on the table. And then you just want magic damage, and the only two heroes in the game that can give you magic and magic defense drops at the same fucking time is and it's kind of torn, but like I would use Dream Witch as opposed to using other heroes just because it's a healer. And then for magic damage, you're going to get an Incinerator in there. And then your next best bet's either Bomb and Goblin, or you could also do Sage of Storms, or a magic defense drop. You could also get it from Elementalist too. But, you know, so like for example, I could do this team and this will probably do just fine. The only reason why is it doesn't necessarily need tank in it, per se. Now, almost one-shotted it. Just barely. Just about one-shotted it. That's fine, but... I can't remember how far I was on Earth Shatter anyway. Not very far, apparently. Still quite a ways. But yeah, if I ever get bored, that's probably what I'll do, is finish my Earth Shatter so my monster hunting gear set would be complete. So it's really not that far off on this account. Got a little bit more left to do. But that's what I've been doing in my main, is I pop a level 3 at least once a day. Which adds up. Between that and used to hunt down the level 4s once in a while. Well, I guess we could do a little Coliseum before we call it wraps, I guess. So I'm gonna do this. And then throw in physicals, so I'm gonna save throw a stunner in there. That'd be fine. Against that team, I would think. There's a couple of people out there that use Don Guapo. And he's not bad, it's just you gotta have him maxed, otherwise I don't see why people throw them in there and then not have them maxed. Now, some people, they can one-up me by having their petite double done, but that's fine. Kind of thought that would happen. I'll take the freebie. Take the freebie and work my way out of that. Why not? Get my freebie and then... Yep. I did find this out, which is that if I switch Don Guapo out for Big Guy, if I remember it, that actually, I think, wins. Remember it. May not always win, but I think it does. Most of the time against Don Guapo. Let's see. Find out. Yes, I do. These guys out of here. Let's use Big Guy to knock him out. And Don Corleone should be... I think I can knock him out with this. Or not. Fine. Let me think here. Another team. To do... Funny how, I'm gonna try that, just because it's might work. Yeah. That's how you beat that team. In case you're wondering how. Okay, this is that team. This is the team that beat it. Basically, the thing about Dream Witch, and the reason why Dream Witch works there, has a lot to do with the abilities that are in Dream Witch, which is this: say that you get medium area and stun, and then you've got 4 target DPS, and then she increases int for all allies. So, like, that is a huge freaking plus if you're ever doing, you know, plus she's a healer, sort of. I wouldn't say she's a healer per se, because she doesn't really, she's more of a support hero than she is a healer, but that's one of the few heroes in the game. There's not very many. I mean, there's a couple out there, like this one that increases magic attack. But you just have to kind of know, like, which ones give you which stats you're after. Like reflex, for example, is actually the ability stat. That if you pay any attention to these, you know, you can stack reflex with certain heroes and shit like that. That's just stuff that, you know, if you didn't know about it, I could go into detail, and I was thinking about doing that. It was like, a lot of people don't talk about it, and a lot of people are fucking clueless when it comes to Coliseum. They just pick a hero team and then go, oh, well, that must be the fucking solution for everything. It's like, well, yeah, 90% of the time everybody uses a certain team, but if you don't understand the logic of why that team beats this team and so on and so forth, then you'll wind up kind of being utterly confused. Like right now, I know that that team won, okay? I could probably just go out of my way to swap shit around so that it's just that team. See how long it stays there. You know, which, will it stay there forever? I don't know. We'll have it sit there and hold the title for now. Because I know Don Corleone and others are gonna try and smack it with this team, and they're gonna lose. We'll just see what happens. But meantime, I'll rank in the gems that I can get. It's 500, assuming that you can stay number 1. I get a whole hour and 20 minutes to sit there and wait, because I probably won't do it until like the last 30 minutes, and then they'll go to town on it. Of course, I've always seen, like, I've seen people bot the hell out of that too. I've never really understood why anybody bots it, but it's fucking dark really hard. Oh, shit. Sorry for yawning, guys, but anyway, knocking him out of number one's not very hard. Yeah, just have to hold it now. Keep the spot and be good to go. Aside from that, though, guys, I think that's pretty much about all I can show you for now. We'll rack up more as we come along, but next stream we'll probably cover doing chant packs, shit like that, because we'll have a little over, probably, I want to say 10,000 is my goal. That's when I'll start considering opening them. And we'll kind of go from there. Thank you guys for dropping by, though. Been fun. And we'll go from there. So, anyhow. See ya.